The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
What's happening? It's finally Friday. What's up, everybody? I am the Appalachian American. This is the Men's Room, and we're coming to you hot on another Friday. Joining me, as always, my homeboy, Tommy Gunn.
What's up, everybody? I'm glad to see everybody survived another work week. Ready for the weekend.
Coming to you all the way from the down under. We don't know if it's actually real or not. The author, David Applegate.
G'day, friends and fans. Welcome to another episode of the Men's Room. I am actually on the underside of the flat earth, as everybody knows. The flat earth is flat. The continent of Australia is real. We're on the underside. We're on the underside.
Allegedly. Joining us last but not least, he is my Fandom Collective brother, Phil, TMNT.
Hello there. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are having an awesome tackler Friday.
Yeah. So, how have you guys been? How's your week been? How's everybody doing?
Glad it's the weekend.
Right. I'm so dude. I feel you. I'm ready for a nice, relaxing day or weekend. You know. We have just to kick it all off. Our phone lines are open. You can call in 540-232-9476. Call in, say hey, how you doing? What's up? We can bounce you though if you say something stupid. So don't be dumb. But we're here.
So before we get started, I got some questions to ask. So Phil's the guest, so I'm curious. You look like, from your name, I can tell you're a Ninja Turtle fan.
Oh, how could you ever guess?
Which Ninja Turtle are you most fan of?
Okay, so for a while it was Leonardo.
See, Leonardo was mine.
Yeah, Leonardo was mine. Cause he's the oldest, he tends to have the most responsibilities and stuff like that, was why I gravitated towards him. But after I read The Last Ronin, spoiler alert of the partial spoiler alert to the book, is Michelangelo now. Because The Last Ronin kind of made me look at Michelangelo in a whole new light.
Yeah.
So right now it's Mikey.
He definitely was fun because you saw him grow up. We were just talking about this off air. You get to see Michelangelo grow up and not be the goofy dude. He's just now a hardened Ronin, just slicing and dicing.
See, now I gotta go get the comic book. Y'all making it sound amazing.
I'm pretty sure, dude, you can get it. Let's see, on Amazon. You can buy I think they've got the trade paperback. Let's see.
Yeah, I got the hardcover that has all 5 issues. Thankfully, like one of my friends got me this as a gift. I've read this about 5 times since I got this at fair release.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that good.
Yeah, you can buy it. You can buy it on Amazon for $20. So it's definitely a good read. It's definitely something that I would check out. I enjoyed the artwork. The flashback scene, the flashback images were really cool. It was just a fun overall book.
Still does the pizza thing, or is it kind of alleviate away from it?
I don't know if they talked about pizza at all.
Somewhat, but in present day, if you're wanting like a more mature Ninja Turtle,
so they're not teenagers no more.
So this takes place about 16 years after, 16 years in the future. So he's 32?
Oh. Yeah, something like that. But he's got all their weapons. Like, he carries around everything.
So it's just one now.
Yeah, they all die.
Okay. Because I was just a fan
No,
of the
reason into
animated
it.
series. I never really.
Well, that was David. I mean, it's not really a spoiler alert because that's what they led into this run.
Well,
they were like, "Hey, look, like this is
Kidding.
the theme is like all but one die, and he's going for revenge."
Yes. Yeah,
Is that why I keep seeing images of like him with all like ghosts, Ninja Turtles touching his shell?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because I keep seeing it, but I didn't know what it was about.
Yeah, see in this image, this is like the cover. You've got he's got Donnie's staff, Leonardo's swords. He's got Raphael's
Size.
that's right.
Yeah.
And then he's got the nunchucks.
They even did was there a promo where they had him putting on Leo's mask over his or something?
I don't believe.
You're probably thinking of an image of where, like, I think it's like the school of like he has all the masks, or like there's like where you see his face and he has all the Turtles masks.
It's like
You're
a
probably
flip.
thinking of that.
It's like a flip comic where he's going through the different transitions from little Mikey to big Mikey.
Is Shredder in this, or is he gone?
So Shredder is in this in a way that you wouldn't expect.
Okay.
That's the best way I can give you it without spoiling it.
Gotcha. So we've got the chat just going nuts. It's Matt and Justin. They seem to be having a very interesting. I'm drunk. Where is Aldean? Oh, Aldean. This is a small town. You don't like Jason Aldean. And then Justin said, "Well, I support his right to make whatever music he wants. He sucks." I will agree. I'm not a Jason Aldean fan.
I like a couple songs.
Yeah, there's some songs that are fine. I will say his older stuff is my favorite.
Yeah. I don't really like country music, but you know, to quote a Kyle, "Fook around and find out."
Lord have mercy.
I'm not the type that censors music no matter what it is. Like,
even they keep breaking
I
up,
disagree with, but I think it still should be allowed on the radio or played. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
I heard from I just got word that Dr. Coffin Nails will be in just a few, and I haven't heard anything from Lape, but
Lape,
just FYI.
you know, Lape missed the golden opportunity. He should have done a video on beers not to replace Bud Light.
So I will say I'm not going to Whorehound this year.
I want to go next year.
I'm dedicated to try to go next year.
Yes.
Cool.
So, David, you're going to have to figure out. I can bring you an Amazon box. You just got to figure out how to fit in it, and we'll ship you there through the Amazon box.
Actually, next year, my sister's talking about going to Singapore for a week.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, I've actually been to Singapore before, but I've only been, like in that 3-block area of the, it's the airport and, the rest, the huge parking area and shopping area around it. That's it. That's all I've seen in Singapore. Twice I've been through, and that's all I've seen. Because it takes a long time to walk around,
Hey, we're going to call Lape live on the phone, see if he answers.
All right.
Watch him not answer. He never answers his phone.
Pick up because there was a big long pause.
I know, right? Come on, Lape.
This suspense is killing me.
Right?
Your call has been forwarded to an.
Oh, Lape, you suck.
We suck. We did this before.
I know. Daggone it.
We did this with Tommy. I think he knows who it is. He did this with Tommy, and
yeah,
he's seen it. He knows it's coming.
Apparently, we're still leaving Lepe. Oh, no, we're still. Gosh, hang up. Hang up. Hey, Lepe, we're leaving you a voicemail, apparently. I don't know how to end the call. Right there. There's how you end the call. So you get this nice voicemail. Oh, man. Yeah. It's been a long
He's
week.
probably looking at the phone. Who the heck is this? A telemarketer?
Yeah. So. Tommy, four-wheeler now. You want to come play?
You got four-wheeler?
Yeah.
What size?
400.
Ooh.
Not bad.
Polaris?
You know, it'll get.
Is that Polaris?
No, it's Articat. It's old. It's an old ancient dinosaur.
Hey, if it runs and it's got tires, I like it.
Hey, man, it scoots. And you know what? Best part about it, it was free 99. So that was great. You know, anytime there's
was it running when you got it, or
dude, it runs great. My granddad, he gave it to me. He got another one.
Is the one your granddad had?
Yeah, the red one.
Not a bad one, though.
It ain't bad. Shoot, it'll get. It ain't got no brakes at all.
I can fix that.
I mean, I've got all the parts situated on Amazon. I'm gonna order them as I collect fundage. But yeah, it'll be a good time.
The last time I was on a four-wheeler, I was half sideways with Kristen on my back. We almost fell right into the water.
I'm kind of retarded.
Because you were driving. Because I was driving, apparently. That's what she said.
Right. That's what she said. I have an Articat 14,000. Shut up, Justin. You have a link, dude. Jump in, man. I go live with these wonderful group of the Podcasting Dead every Sunday or Monday, whatever night they feel we don't.
But he never sends me the link. So
Who?
I never go and watch you.
Me?
Yeah, send me the link when you're going on so I know to jump on. I don't get notifications from him, and I've.
You know what? If you hit the bell, you would.
I did. I hit the bell. I keep getting to where I go on there, and it says I haven't hit the bell.
It's censorship.
Subscribing might help as well.
Yeah, Tommy, you should subscribe. And
what
hit
time
the bell.
Do you come on?
I don't know, man. Like we're always like, are we going live tonight? No, tomorrow. Okay, it's usually always Mondays, but I like Sunday night better. But they like Monday, so whatever.
Which the Podcasting Dead is a very enjoyable show. I went back and watched all. I'm starting at the beginning. I haven't watched all the way up, but I've started from the beginning.
Tommy's being a suck up because he got invited to Justin's wedding and didn't come.
Yeah. At least I'm giving him a like on each video, so that's.
I'm gonna come.
One more than you had before you watched it, so that's pretty. That's nice of you.
I'm liking them and watching them. And
well,
so that's
nice.
like me doing my 3 Hail Marys for not going to the wedding.
I had a video the other day. With lots of views. And while I was live, nobody hit the like. And then I come back a day later and there was 3 likes. So, you never know.
Yeah, I forgot that you go live. Like, you go live every day just before I go on my morning break. So I'm like, I'll catch up, as soon as I get back. And then by the time I get back in, I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot David was live. Whoops. We got 6 people watching over on Rumble. What's up, Rumble? Hey.
Yeah,
hi.
I didn't expect that you would be available every day because I thought, he's probably working or he's adulting. I'm not looking for. I just look to see who's there when I go live.
Yeah.
Let's notice that sometimes when I'm live, it doesn't update until I'm right at the end, and then suddenly I get everybody's chat, and it goes from 0
yeah,
to 3.
and you see like the million bajillion Jennifer Lawrence. We had a small wedding. You were the one of the few people we invited. Try that in a small town. Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah, Kyle. Find that. Fool around in a small town and find out what happens to you.
Now,
She'll
great.
fall to
Now I'm
Paris.
gonna have to wait until his birthday and pop out of the cake with a bikini on, just to make it up to him.
That might be too
Look.
much.
I'm not.
Well, you don't want to see him in a mankini over there?
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
Negatory.
Would
As
a
soon as
Ewok
I
hot
heard-
dog outfit help?
you know, sometimes you can tell a movie's going to be bad, like from who's in it. As soon as I heard Simu was in the Barbie movie, yeah, and I was right. Simu came out and said, "Oh, we're putting a lid on gender identity and on the heteronormative idea of gender identity," and it's like. That's a long way of saying you're a groomer, buddy.
Dude, this is rad. Check out this 7-inch action figure.
Oh wow!
IDW
Whoa!
I've been trying to go to my local like Walmart or Target to try to get that, and it's been a pain in the butt to find one.
Try your local comic book stores if you got them around.
I will have to try that. Yeah,
It's 32. It's from NECA. It's from NECA. It's $32. So I mean, it's on Amazon.
I've been seeing like the '80s version on the shelves, and of course the new movie on the shelves. I love the '80s show. I've been like binge watching the '80s show, but I want the last Ronin figure so bad.
Yeah. This lack of Aldean is man, dude. Matt Whitaker is obsessed with some Jason Aldean. Papa Cotton. I'm gonna be honest. I know YouTube doesn't like that, but try that in my town, and they'd be hauling your out body bags. Well, yeah.
Thanks, Carl. Call for Congress.
Call for Congress. Tommy equals heartbreak.
Oh, come on, man. Don't do that to me.
Let's see.
Come on, man.
To which I'm not keen. I don't know what Matt has need to lay off the booze because I don't understand what he's talking about.
It's either Matt or a cat done sat on his keyboard.
If he's on booze, then he must be on the good stuff. Ship them over to me. I don't mind. Take them off your hands.
I will be he for Halloween. Oh my god.
I will be he for Halloween. Who's he?
I guess he's talking about Jason Aldean. I don't know. He's obsessed with him. Matt now. Oh my god. Again? Matt needs Aldean for his vagine. And yet I will be unseen. Better be clean.
You probably
meet Jason Aldean.
Oh
my lord!
Don't be mean.
Now, do you think he did this because he knew the backlash would be bad?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, he picked the problem. The problem I've seen many people talk about the song was the fact that he purposely did it in front of this courthouse in Tennessee, where apparently there was a lynching from so many years ago, and apparently that was not what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't like they got all the facts out for the situation. They just kind of rushed through it and did it.
But
so I don't know the particulars of it, and I mean that sucks. But
here's my whole issue with it is it's you go back 100 years to 200 years. There's not a piece of property in the U.S. that hasn't had something bad happen.
No. Yeah,
like,
I mean it's
you're gonna find dirt on any piece of property in the U.S. So
they're saying that he picked that courthouse just because of that.
Hello.
What's up, Dr. Calvinells? How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Did you get a haircut or is it your green screen?
I think he's just not wearing a hat.
I'm just not wearing a hat, and my green screen is making the top of my head disappear. So
he's got a hat here, where it's flat on top and half the sides crumbled in where the band was. Yeah.
Kind of like that.
There you go. He fixed it.
I think this is the first time I've been on with. I think this is the first time I've been on with Phil.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been seeing you around in the community, and I like said
Yeah.
that dude seems like a cool guy to meet one day. So it's definitely a pleasure to finally be able to talk to you.
I
to
think
see
like
ya.
Dr. Coffin Nails and like Brian Lape and all of them are like, well, Channel Dad obviously. They're like bigwigs in the community.
I don't know about big wigs, but
I don't know, dude. You're everywhere. Every single live stream I've ever watched, you're like, somebody's like, "Oh, Dr. Coffin Nails in the chat," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Dude, man, you're like a legend."
I am a moderator on a lot of channels, and I don't even ask to be moderated. I just get Cecil started it all. He gave me a wrench.
What do you think about seeing his face?
It's weird.
Like he did a face reveal,
Mhm.
and it was crazy.
It was on a lot of at Chrissy Marr's wedding. It was everyone's Instagram had him in there, and you really got a good look at him on several different Instagrams. So it's like
That's wild. Papa Cotton, I've seen Coffin Nails around. Dude's based AF. Yep.
Well, thank
Sure
you,
is.
Papa Cotton.
Oh, dude, like it's like, anytime, like when I was talking to Nick from WCBS, I was like, yeah, Dr. Coffin Nails is gonna be on. Oh, by the way, I need to send him a link. So good.
Oh, is Nick going to
well-
be here?
Well, no, I don't know. I told Nick that like he's only been here a handful of times with us,
Right.
but I was like, hey, I was like, I will send you a link, and then like if you're free, jump in. If not,
Okay.
it's no big deal.
He did say they'll
Hey.
include him in the emails. That he'll
Hey,
pop
Phil.
in if he can, but he just doesn't know when. It's
I
usually
asked
that way.
I asked if you wanted to be added. He said no. Just send it to me on
Oh.
Instagram. I said okay.
Oh,
well,
Instagram,
whatever.
sorry. Yeah,
Oh, Phil
whatever.
jumped out. He probably jumped back in.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Did he comment? Oh,
I
he said
see.
BRB.
I see Phil's Instagram a lot. I always enjoy that.
Oh, there he is. Cool.
Sorry, I unintentionally like X myself out.
Oh, you're good.
We do it often. It happens.
But I was going to say I unfortunately have to check because I need to help my dad with something. But I'll try to return to the stream if you guys are still live. But
Yeah, dude. Drop on in if you can.
Oh yeah, thank you so much to having me on the channel. And if you
Yeah,
guys
man.
haven't
I'm gonna
sub-
I'll put your channel info down in the description.
And if you guys
Okay.
haven't subscribed to this amazing guy that was on top of me,
Oh, thank
this
you.
can't be taken away in any type of meaning whatsoever.
Well, thanks, man.
Good
Appreciate
to finally
you, dude.
meet you, Phil.
Likewise, and I'll hopefully talk to you fellow wonderful men later.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, man.
Take care.
Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
So Dr. Coffinell, I was gonna ask Phil too. Are you into country
Mhm.
music?
A little bit. I mainly
Okay.
like older country music.
So, what's your opinion on the Jason Aldean thing?
CMT are morons, and they're gonna lose a lot of viewership over that.
I did not know they were owned by MTV now.
You didn't know that?
No, I just
Oh,
thought
yeah.
they got really crappy all of a sudden.
Hey, did you guys see my video?
No, I haven't had a
Yes.
chance to see it yet.
Yes,
Yes.
it was really.
I've been
good.
busy. I worked a double shift today. That's why I was late.
I dropped it. I dropped it last night. I've been thinking about this whole situation the last couple of days, and I was like, I really need to like say something. So
Now,
I
did
got
you just make it live, or did you record it and then put
I
it on?
recorded
there?
it, edited it, and then do it up
Okay.
there. Let's see. Nurkish got me in the divorce. I don't watch Cecil anymore. Ugh.
Really?
I haven't watched Cecil in a hot minute, but I still follow him on Instagram.
You sided with Nurkish over that whole thing? Okay.
I don't know, like, what happened.
They have falling out. He was gonna help him with that book, I think.
Cash grab?
Yeah. It was gonna be called Backstab or something, and they changed the name, or I can't remember. I can't remember all the details. It's been too long. I just
Gotcha.
read that. I just read that about a week ago. It's not bad. Cash grab. Finally.
Oh, it finally came out.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Seth, every time you take a sip of your drink, you make me jealous about your cup.
Oh yeah, you like this?
I like that.
I can print you the sticker, but I cannot find you the cup because they don't make the color anymore.
Oh, that's fine. I'll find a green cup.
All right, I'll print you out
Even
a
if I
sticker.
have to just get a coffee cup and put it on it.
Well, I've got the men's room logo, not the men's room logo, just the name on my coffee cup.
But apparently being against violent crime is racist now. So that's that's a thing.
You can call for more riots and more protests and for people to not let up, but yet if you talk about what will happen in a small town, it's now bad. So
I was listening to a guy
You
yesterday.
can call for more riots or protests if it's their causes. As long
right.
as
What were you talking about?
as long
What were you
as
talking about, Tommy?
it's not fascism when left to it.
So when it first came out and people were the left was so mad about it, they actually were trying, like they were nitpicking everything, trying to find why I was racist until some scholars actually found out the place, the building and everything. They had nothing to go on. So they just basically said he's pointing out stuff to make it racist.
That's so ridiculous.
I was like, what does spitting on a cop? If you don't spit on a cop, you're racist?
Well, spitting on people in general is a form of assault. There's Channel Dad.
It's not assault when you do it to a cop because the left hate police until they're in power, and then it's a police state.
Right.
Leif, where you been? I tried to talk to you. I tried calling you.
I think why they're. Well, go ahead.
I was out dealing with a chicken that didn't want to get in the coop.
I did that before stream.
That's nice.
Yeah. Stupid chickens.
I started before stream. So.
Yeah? Did you? Did ya?
Yeah, that's why my phone was inside, not with me.
You just don't like it when we call you.
So, no, I did. I was outside and I came back and it said, "You have a voicemail."
Oh.
So
did you? We couldn't figure out how to get the thing to cut off. So sorry, you got a voicemail.
Oh.
So I will say, I know this is off topic, but I got to say it because it's the men's room and it's part of men's stuff. My daughter's 9. And this is the first time we've let her stay at a friend's house with their kids because they went to the Great Moose Lodge. No, was it the Great Wolf Lodge? And it's the first time. And
I've been there
it's
twice.
Weird to walk past her room and not see her in there sleeping.
Dude,
night.
she's there now?
Yes.
I have friends that are there now.
Who?
A girl I work with.
Which Great Wolf Lodge are you at?
I don't know.
It's the closest one is Williamsburg, Virginia.
Yeah.
Because I have reservations to be there. What day? Let me look.
Like,
it's next month.
I've worked out of town and stuff, but I knew she was home in her bed.
Yeah.
And it's just an uncomfortable feeling I can't grasp yet.
I'll be there August 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Never been.
I've never been either.
Oh.
I've actually been 3 times to the Wolf Lodge.
Is it a girl or a guy?
It's a girl I work with. Her and her family went.
I been through it. Empty nest. Don't forget, I basically, my wife left me. I had and she left she actually left without my son, and then she came back and took him. Rather violently too. She showed up with like 18 police officers.
Lord have mercy.
Even though she left without him the first time, she felt it necessary to do that, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Take it.
How do you think you're gonna take it, Seth?
What?
The first time your daughter goes and spends the night at a friend's house.
It
Is
depends
it
on
gonna
what
bother
friend.
you think? Well, that long of a distance, let's say.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's not spending the night at a friend's house. She's hours away.
Yeah. No, that ain't happening. I don't do that.
My daughter is 9 too, Tommy, and I don't know if is she at least with family?
You would consider them family.
Oh, okay.
They've been in her life since before she was born, basically.
Okay, so she's just going on vacation with them, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of the girl's got like 5 kids, so she has plenty of entertainment with them.
Good. Yeah, that's always difficult, Tommy. Yeah. When my daughter first went all night like that, and she was at like my mom's house because she's spending a lot with her grandma and her cousin.
Yeah.
And that's still difficult.
Did you walk past the room and still look at the bed?
Yep.
Yep.
That's a father thing.
So
That's a
check
father
this
thing.
out. We get this room that like, oh crap! Come on, bring the picture up. It looks like a cabin.
Oh, I've seen that. I was looking at that.
So this is exactly how our rooms. I mean, like our room is going to be the whole thing,
nice.
but like
Oh,
this is, that's the outside, and then the
it's
cabin
nice.
part. The kids, and then my mother-in-law will sleep in here.
That's similar to where we were at the first time.
And then
They
we
got
got
like massive ones though.
I went to the one in Goshen, Illinois.
Okay.
Or no, is it Goshen?
Kid Cabin Suite is what it's called.
Yep, that's the one.
So yeah, we'll be there in August. So Tommy, you'll probably have to man the fort that night.
And she
But aren't
had
you
her
going
little
to see Jelly Roll?
Yes.
When is that gonna be?
The 11th.
So the weekend before you'll be gone, and then the weekend after. So for 2 weeks we won't stream together.
Well, maybe I'll jump in on the coffee and gaming.
Yeah. I'll probably get everything situated up to where you won't have to do anything but hit go live.
Alright.
So that'll be fun. So Jason Aldean, we kind of talked about that. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I made a video on it. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
You know why they're really mad? Because they know if they did try that crap in a small town, it would not end for them very well at all.
Exactly.
Kyle 2.0.
It would end very, very badly, and that's why they're not even going to try it.
Heck, they tried it. Remember the march? Remember the so-called Million March in Austin, which was like 3.5 idiots, and they tried to head south, and they lasted like 5 minutes.
Well, here's the thing they don't realize is the worst person you can mess with is one that just wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem.
And that's the whole theme of the song. Just leave them alone. Do your own thing in your big blue cities. And there's really no problem.
The problem is liberals can't even stand the idea of somebody, even one person, not being like them or willing to bend over for them. It is that you would say a narcissist would call them a narcissist. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a psychotic level of narcissism that really permeates through that. It's not just a sense of entitlement. It's a total immature attitude. Like this. On one level, they're a child who expects the world to be a beautiful place and everybody to be always happy. And on the other flip side, they're perpetually miserable and destructive to the point where they're the cause, and they know they're the cause of the problem,
Right.
and yet they still go on.
Well, there's a cognitive dissonance there. There's a disconnect because they deep down they know the socialist utopia does not work and it's not ever going to work, and they're just making it worse. But they
know they're the cause of most social issues. You look at social issues today.
Right.
They were gone in the 90s. They brought it all back. They just kept dredging everything up all the time.
Here's also the thing, though. It's hard to argue with someone that if you, like, let's say this, if conservatives start saying, yeah, we need the Green New Bill, we need to go for that.
Green New Bill?
They would go against it. Even though they supported it, they would go against it.
No, only half the left are anti-establishmentarian, the other half are anti-contrarian. The anti-establishmentarians would say, "Oh, you're agreeing with us. It's about time." Where the other half would go full-blown retard.
Well, look at The Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
That movie, you cannot say was a political stance. That movie was just talking about a bad situation. Now, the left can't even get behind that to say, yeah, you know what, y'all are right. Child trafficking is dangerous, is bad.
No,
well, there's reasons. There's reasons for that. Look into the background of who the guy's friends are that wrote the article in Rolling Stones, and you'll see why they don't want light shined on that.
Well, I mean, I know that, but the thing of it is, though, is when you realize that it's both parties that are involved in that, like if they could lock up everybody that's involved with it, we would need a re-vote. We'd need an emergency vote session because it would be like 90% of our elected officials.
Yes.
Both sides of the aisle.
But there's more.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't know.
It's not that bad, Seth, but I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I
don't understand where they're getting the QAnon connection with that, because
okay, you know about 2 Minutes of Hate. Have everybody knows anything about Orwell knows the 2 Minutes of Hate is their fundamental, right? It's their daily ritual. They have to find something to screech at because hate is the only thing that keeps them from actually having a normal conversation. Hate is the reason why they cannot debate you, because anything you say, they hate you, so they're going to think everything you say is either a lie, or you're bought off, or you're in a cult.
So,
I just posted a meme about it.
Can you watch it again?
I mean, I could if I needed to while it's up.
I was just curious.
It's hard.
It'd be hard to watch it again.
It's
like,
very
I understand why I needed to watch it, but it's.
Has everyone here seen it now? Because I saw it almost a week ago.
Yeah, you said you were going to go see it last Saturday.
Yeah, really good. I mean, it's really, if you're a parent, it's a horror movie.
Yeah. David, have you seen it?
It's horrific.
No, I'm waiting for the
international.
Oh, right. You still don't.
Yeah.
I forgot you still don't.
Because I don't think they've released it internationally yet, and I don't know if they will.
I can't wait till they release it in Mexico.
No, I heard that it's going to get a digital release, so I don't think it's going international. I think I don't think they could trust the international distributor. You know, they might put it in one place and say, "Oopsie, it failed." You know.
Yeah.
And then charge them $100 million for it. You know.
Yeah, it's $104 million right now.
Don't forget, they have to pay a booking. See, this is what people don't understand. Movies have to pay a booking fee, right? And that's a upcharge front on what is expected to make. And if you go over that, you get money back. You know what I mean? It's a gatekeeping method that stops you as an independent artist from releasing your films and having cinemas just pick it up.
So All right, the film. I'm looking at Box Office Mojo, and I don't know if you can take this honestly or not. So
Yeah.
take it with a grain of salt. But it opened to a 14.2 million on July 4th. That Friday, it bumped plus 40.9%.
Hmm.
All right, then on the following Friday, it bumped plus 63.7%.
I believe
So
it.
this movie is climbing
Mm-hmm.
while the weeks go, where other movies are dipping.
It's called word of mouth because it's getting around. I mean, like Tommy said, yeah. Especially if you're a parent, it's not a fun watch.
No.
But
I mean, it's
a necessary watch.
It's difficult to watch, but it's very necessary.
It hasn't fallen below the third top stayed in ranking of films. It has not dropped below third. It's now sitting. Well, I can't see today's, but I could see yesterday's. It was number 1 in the box offices yesterday.
Yeah,
that's saying something.
And if they don't get Oscar nominations for like anyone, I mean, everyone in that movie is so good. The kids are excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite character is.
You're not going to get an Oscar nomination because
I don't.
No, probably not.
It meets all the diversity quotas. Most of the movie isn't spoken in Spanish.
Dr. Galvanez, you were about to say something about your favorite character. Who was it?
My favorite character. Well, everyone in the movie is great. It's just awesome. But one of my favorites, the scene that really gets me. Well, there's a lot of scenes that really get you. It's a very emotional movie, but I like the part where he's down there and they've got the Colombian government guy connects him with the guy who's going to help him. He's the heavy set guy who used to be a drug dealer. Used to be in the drug cartel, and he's like,
I forgot what his name is.
It's like Vampiro or something. I can't remember, but he's really a good actor too. And he's asking him, he's like, well, why did you do this? Why didn't you do when you got out of jail? Why didn't you just go back to selling drugs? And he goes, I did go back to selling drugs. He tells his whole story of how he realizes, this girl he's been with is younger than he thought, and he saw the darkness in her eyes, and then he's like, he realizes, I'm the darkness.
Yeah,
I'm the darkness. He's like, and he has such a great line where he's like, he's about to blow his brains out, and he's like, when God tells you what to do, you do not hesitate.
Yep. Now
that is such a great moment.
So this movie was based off of a true story, but as most true stories, they embellish a little bit because it eases the plot. So that specific scene didn't exactly happen in real life that way.
Right.
Now, the guy did have a prostitute. She was in her 20s or something. And she was talking about how her daughter was 14 and got pulled into the life. And when she is sick or double booked, her daughter has to go in and fulfill the stuff.
Oh, geez.
And so it was that conversation did happen, but it was kind of different in real life.
Yeah. Whenever you do a movie like this, you always have to combine characters and streamline things, but yeah.
So I mean, the weight of that situation is still heavy because I'm trying to think of the wording that won't get me in trouble with YouTube, but one of those women of the night, they have daughters that you have to that they had to fill in for them.
Look, growing up, I was a working class suburb, so we never had them. And the first time we went to the city, it was the first time I saw. It was the first time there was a gay parade. It was the first time I saw a prostitute. And I mean, the parade went through King's Cross, and it was I don't know, obvious, you know, that the city side of town had, you know, was, you know, something in that, you know, as a kid, you know, tells you to run away, and you actually see, you know, in the alleyways, in the, you know, up in the upper balconies, you actually see kids. It was open and obvious, you know, back in the 70s that governments were turning a blind eye to this sort of thing going on. You know, that there was this dark side, this seedy side of life, but there was that scary part that, you know, everybody knew, you know, Mr. Creepy, you know, stay away from Mr. Creepy. You know, kids would be telling each other, stay away from this house.
Yeah, it's like...
Because there were people the police didn't arrest. There were people that, you know, were untouchable. So, you know, it was scary.
Why do you think... This is another reason I think that they're coming down hard in this movie, because a lot of people might enjoy certain types of
predilections
of porn, and where does that come from? This movie tells you exactly where it comes from. It doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from predation and destroying these, you know, people's lives and childhoods.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't come out of a vacuum.
And I was doing research into cults, and prostitution and child abuse is one of the methods that they used in the 17th century. They used to recruit actors who abused children because they had no personality. They knew it just back then. It destroyed people. That's why cults use it. That's why, you know, the free love movement, they know it destroys people psychologically. And as you can see, now you get generations of prostitutes.
All right. We got to get on another topic. This is getting really upsetting.
Yeah.
Donald Trump going to get arrested again?
Who?
Donald Trump said he will be on Tuesday.
Again?
Again.
Are they trying to make him more popular in the polls? Because every time this happens, his numbers go up a little bit.
Well, DeSantis is like, what, 18%?
Yeah, he's
fallen
fast.
How do you
feel about Kennedy running?
I like him.
His numbers are weird. He's not, even if he got the even if he went and had the debate, I don't think he'd get past 30%. Maybe 25%.
Would y'all be okay with a Trump and VP Kennedy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that would
That'll
be
never
really
happen
bizarre.
because it makes too much sense.
Well, it's not the first time that's happened though. Lincoln he was a Republican, but
I brought that up last week. You didn't know that.
Right. I don't think that could happen in the current politicals. Yeah, but that would be really interesting. I'd love to see that happen.
Well, you look at Trump, though.
Yeah,
Trump does whatever he wants, and he wants. There's some stuff they agree on.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kennedy is the kind of guy who say, well, I can work with you. Yeah, you hear him a lot. He does sound like a guy you can work with. And
well,
I think he also has that I want solutions type, you know, which is very rare in politicians because politicians usually have issues they can milk for 50 years, you know.
Well, what made me think of this is because they had him on a talk show and they were trying to make him talk bad about Trump. And he goes, I'm not going to talk bad about him. I may disagree with some of the stuff he did, but he did good stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is he saying this because he's foreshadowing something?
No.
Because he knows he can't. The Democratic Party is not going to vote for him for what he has said.
What I think
but the Republican Party would.
No, I think he's setting himself for post-Biden. I think a lot of people said it sounds like he's setting himself up to be a senator post-Biden because Delaware, I think when everything's said and done, Delaware is going to be really ashamed of themselves because for 50 years they've turned a blind eye. They knowingly put a corrupt person into the Senate.
The news is talking bad about him, though.
Yeah,
that already says something.
Well, because he's not towing the line with the far left ideology, so they're going to try to drag him down. And the thing is, he's a Kennedy. He's embodying all that stuff that they supposedly love, even though JFK would not recognize his own party if he came back. It's like he was anti-communist. He was anti all this. It's like he would say, "What the hell is this?" It's like, this isn't my.
Kennedy was one of the last presidents on the left, though he wasn't much on the left, but he was just there. He was like, we can work with them as long as they meet us. It used to be meet us in the middle. Kennedy was the one who really started it. As long as they meet us halfway, he's the one who started this whole halfway business.
But for him to be on a different party and not badmouth Trump, that says something about either his character or he knows something that he's not letting be known yet.
No, I think Kennedy is sick and tired of the adversarial system because all it does is produce, all it does is get the top psychopath, the person who's the most belligerent, the loudest, the most arrogant, the person who appeals to the biggest donors. That's about it. We don't get somebody who's willing to prosecute the problem that they want to. You get Biden, who 98 he pushed for the Iraq War, but because he's such a Jacobin, the moment the war that everybody turns against Iraq, he's the first to push Bush out in front of him and say, it's his fault, not mine.
Channel Dad.
He's listening.
Yes.
Hey, what's your opinion on Kennedy?
Well, I think you need to see the congressional hearings yesterday and how the Democrats didn't want him to speak before he spoke. He's changed. I mean, he's been fighting the big pharma for almost 3 decades now, and basically he wants vaccines to be as well tested and safe as we can make things, and not have
not mandatory,
not mandatory, not have liability protections. He's changed on the Second Amendment. He understands guns are necessary, and the problem is psychotropics, which again is big pharma. The stuff with Wasserman Schultz and a few others from yesterday is it's unbelievably psychotic.
He didn't like the fact that he later reminded them that Wasserman Schultz was a cheat and a liar.
Oh yeah,
and to be corrupt. So, and yet she's now back in the fold as if nothing of that ever happened.
Well, yeah. Well, that raised her, but the thing about, the Democrat Party that people think existed never did. They've always been a warmongering party. They got us into both world wars. They got us into Korea. They got us into Vietnam. They're only anti-war when they're not in control.
Yes. I've spoken to people about it. Kennedy's two-faced. JFK had a war bill. When he couldn't get support for it, he was going around being anti-war when the Republicans had support. Because the Republicans only wanted to send aid. Kennedy wanted to send troops. And that's why you had the advisors in the field. And Kennedy was more and more pushing them into combat into zones in like Da Nang. He sent them into Da Nang. He sent them into Long Trang, and he also bombed Cu Chi. People which forget that was not a military target. He was working on unspooling that. That was one of the many things that the establishment only because in the last year, coming towards the election, it was such a hot topic. He knew he'd picked the wrong side. He knew he was going to lose if he supported the war.
Well, part of why he was in Dallas was because he was losing in the polls. But I really think that, they have some more to expose, but it would not surprise me at all if Trump and Kennedy changed, independent. If they could guarantee they were on the ballot, that's the problem. Is the two parties have got the ballots in the states so locked up. Yeah.
You don't apply to be president in one state or DC. You apply everywhere.
Right. Well, in 2016, the Democrats showed that they were willing to steal it for Hillary, and Bernie. Well, I mean, really, the super delegates were really they were created for two main problems that happened. One, they watched a Republican populist in Reagan come to power, pulled a lot of Democrat voters, and then you had Perot in the 90s, and they were like, we're not letting that ever happen to us. So they created an escape valve, so if something happened, they could still get the person that the establishment wanted. And that happened with Bernie.
Iowa.
Right.
Yeah, we saw that in Iowa, where Bernie had clearly 30 people out of 6 people, 30 were for Bernie, and yet they put down 15.
Yeah.
Out of 60 delegates.
I would love to see them come together if they could destroy the whole uniparty system.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
It might as well be. That's a good word. It might as well be one party.
Yeah. Well, and then you got like Mitt Romney saying he's going to switch, and I'm like, can you take Mitch McConnell with you? It's like,
Please?
The Republican base has an opportunity to do what Ross Perot could not. They may have to rename themselves because, again, there's this myth that Republicans, a bunch of blue bloods. There are blue bloods, but those are the people that took over the party, but they weren't originally that. And, unions say they built the middle class, and it was a happenstance of history after World War II that we had manufacturing and almost no one else did because everything else was in shambles. But once other countries caught up to us, we were screwed because we had priced ourselves out of the market because of unions. So we have this merger between communism and capitalism that we were doing in the 30s, well, the 20s, 30s, really since, you could argue before Woodrow Wilson, but that's when it really got started.
People forget this.
And China used that as a model of how to have a controlled capitalist society. And then almost fell apart for them in Tiananmen, and they cracked down. And
it fell apart because the next generation of leaders had turned against them. Yeah.
And that's what was started to do in the Western world, and they figured out a way to do a slow boil, and we are now where we are, where we're just a hair's breadth away to be sent into camps.
The lessons of Tiananmen Square, identified the methodology, and applied it to our own use.
Yeah, and now they've got us captured with TikTok and all this other absolute asinine stuff. Yeah, but I would like to see them. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something, but I think they got to go through the process first, and Kennedy has to expose. But if you go find it, I mean, Alex Jones covered on his show yesterday. Yeah. But go find some clips of that.
I didn't think you watched
it. Is amazing. I can get through his 3-hour show in about an hour because he wastes so much time talking about himself. Yes. He's worse than Limbaugh. Or has callers who are, man, I don't know where he finds these people to call in, but must be the local bus station because they don't know up from down.
Yeah, but people forget unions are a Marxist organization.
Oh, I know. Go play the game Civilization. You don't get unions until you invent communism. And there's a reason.
Yeah. Until then, we had proper guilds and proper organizations, and they were all subverted because people don't understand what communism really is. It's about seizing power and then deluding people into believing that the companies are run for their benefit. But it's just another form of capitalism. It's just a different way of deciding who controls what. It's still a top-down system.
It's still, they want to say that it's the community owns the means of production, but it really don't. They don't. It's still the government.
Yeah.
It's party members control it. It's probably more accurate.
It's as the party calls it, the political elite. The political elite, the 13%.
Yeah. So, and then
They
when they
are the
get out,
1%ers.
and when they
That's
get
what
out of
they
line,
are.
they just disappear.
Yeah.
Remember Xi
That's
Jinping?
right.
What was that? 2 months ago, or that he just turned his
Well,
back on that guy,
yeah.
the former
Remember
leader.
that general? Remember that general who called him out for being weak on the protesters? Never heard from him again, did you? Li Kuo, their supreme commander. You know, he's gone. If they can kill a party loyalist, they can kill anybody.
Yeah, but it's we are definitely living in interesting times, and
Yes, because you look at
we'll
some of
see
Xi
what
Jinping's
happens.
victims. They're party loyalists. They're not dissidents.
Yeah.
He's tearing China apart in some weird quest to make sure that everybody's loyal to him, not the party.
Yeah, and I was telling my wife that we were chatting a little bit about different things going on at supper, and I said, you know, when if somebody takes him out or he dies, let's say he has, let's say, natural, can't imagine he's in great health.
Well, he's 68, so he could have, but in China, 68 is like being 58 in the West, you know?
Yeah, maybe. He looks older than that, but the
No,
power struggle that could happen when he's no
Yeah.
longer there to hold all the pieces together. China could
Well, the power
implode.
struggle, yeah. Well, that's how he came to power, was the power. That's how he came to power. He killed his way to the top.
Yeah. So it could be really interesting, but
now that he's at the top, he's still killing, and that's what's had a lot of people in trouble. It's had a lot of China watchers worried, because usually it stops, you know, once they're in power, everybody goes, yeah, he'll have his 2 or maybe 3 terms, and then he'll go away because he's, you know, and now they're worried because Xi Jinping has killed his way into a 3rd term when pretty much everybody didn't want him. And now it's not loyalty to the party, it's loyalty to Xi Jinping. And that's got even more worried, because the last time they had a Chinese leader like that, they went to war. And as you know, they had their asses handed until mid-1979 in Vietnam. Everybody keeps forgetting, yes, China has not been a colonist, but it's only because they failed at invasions.
well, and that's more how Stalin ruled. So
yes,
we'll see. What other topics you got?
That's all I had. What do y'all want to talk about?
Well, what do you think? Barbie or Oppenheimer is going to be the big winner this weekend?
I don't know, but I've heard people are walking out of Barbie.
Yeah, I would say woke piece of crap.
Apparently it's as bad as some of the actors have said it was about.
Yeah, I heard
and people didn't want to believe them, and then it's like, I saw Anna, that Star Wars girl had a thing on.
They're saying Oppenheimer might hit 50 on by the end of the weekend.
Did Anna do a piece on it? Right?
Yeah, and as soon as she walked out of the theater, she had a video on Twitter, and she said, yes, it's as bad as everyone is saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Darn it. I didn't.
Yeah.
Similar, they all got this fake, you know, apricot / you know, this weird makeup on. Apparently, they all look like Barbie dolls. Everybody.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the point, but
yeah.
Somebody popped in. Phil's back.
Oh yeah,
Hey, Phil.
I am back.
Hey
guys. Sorry for the long wait.
It's all good. So we're talking about Barbie. And
we're not singing the song. Don't get us demonetized.
Apparently, nobody likes it.
Wait. You guys want to be Barbie?
No.
You want me to take it everywhere so you can get your hairbrush? You know?
Well, I was just asking, you know, who do you think will win the box office weekend?
I'm hoping.
Now, how accurate is Oppenheimer? Is this?
It's actually pretty accurate, although they're saying that they've exaggerated his introversion, because, you know, he was a very quiet man until the bomb. It changed him. Yeah. They're saying it's just very rushed in the transformation of his personality and the man he became, that people know as Oppenheimer.
That is neat.
Sound of Freedom is currently number 1. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is in 2nd place. Dial of Destiny's in 3rd place.
Oh, wow.
Red Door has slipped, and none of the other figures have come in for anybody else.
Has anybody seen Dead Reckoning since last week? I know that I was the only one that saw it like opening night, but
I saw it on Tuesday.
No.
What did you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's my 2nd or 3rd Mission Impossible movie I've seen. 2nd.
I saw it and I really enjoyed it. Now, like after I saw it, I watched Mahler's review and he ripped it to shreds.
Oh.
And now that like once I heard his review, I was like, okay, well, dang it, like some of that stuff didn't make sense now that you pointed out.
Mahler is a little nitpicky in my opinion, but he does good.
I would
like his
agree.
reviews, but
I would agree, and there was a few times that I was like, well, I mean, they clearly said, I forget what they were saying, but I remember thinking like they were clearly obvious. They clearly said this in the film, so that really wasn't a point. So there's sometimes that they make decent points, and sometimes they don't. So when I hear his reviews on stuff, if it's something I've never seen, like, well, if it's something I've never seen, I don't usually watch it because I don't care to hear reviews on stuff that I don't watch, you know.
Right.
But for the most part, you know, sometimes he has a bad take, and I'll be like, okay, you know, I don't agree with that, but whatever. But sometimes he makes some pretty good arguments.
I would say this: if you want to be entertained, watch Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
If you want a good movie to make you fall asleep, watch Indiana Jones.
But if you want a movie to make you think, Oppenheimer.
I really want to see Oppenheimer.
I'm going to sell the seas for Oppenheimer because
I don't even know what that is.
It's a movie about a bomb.
Oh.
So Oppenheimer is the guy who made the discovery that led to the nuclear bomb.
Well, I thought it was the atomic bomb.
Well, same thing.
Sorry, they call it the atomic bomb. Yes.
I have a question. Do you think Oppenheimer will bomb in Japan? Too soon?
Well,
it's too soon. It's only been 78 years.
Everything that guy just says bullshit.
Now the thing is, see, the Japanese actually mixed with their reaction to Oppenheimer, because one, they despise the fact that he created the bomb, but on the other hand, they revere the fact he was the first to speak out against its use.
Mm-hmm.
He thought they were going to use it on a.
He
didn't know they were going to bomb a city with it,
right?
Until the last minute.
I want to see the part where they admit the fact that because they didn't know when they set that off, they had no idea that wouldn't create a chain reaction that would destroy the entire world. I mean, there was a chance it would have happened. They had no idea.
No, they had. Oppenheimer was the one who they asked, "Will this destroy everything?" And he was the one who said, "No, we have never had a chain reaction with anything other than fissionable material." So they picked a place where they knew there was no uranium.
Right.
Because they were worried that the radiation would excite uranium and eventually lead, to it all becoming fissionable.
I don't think that I will pay to see this movie, but I will maybe sail the seas for it. I don't know. I got to be real selective on what I go to the theater for. I can't just be dropping money every time to go see something.
I'll probably see this by myself because I don't think my wife's going to be interested in this one, so I'll just probably see this one myself.
The only one I want to see, really, and this is just me so I can mock it, is the Barbie movie. Just so I can mock it.
So I'm curious. Has any of y'all ever went to the movie theater alone?
Yeah.
I have.
Oh, I have.
I have not. I felt like it would be awkward. It's like
No,
going to a
I mean,
restaurant eating alone.
I have a
enjoy
couple
it
of times.
because most of the time I don't have to explain stuff. You know.
Time you go, Tommy, it's a little awkward, and then the movie starts, you don't even notice.
Yeah,
it's like you're a little self-conscious about if other people. It's like, why is this guy alone? Other people really don't give a damn.
Y'all seriously need to get a VR headset and download big screen. You can watch any movie ever made.
Well,
in a theater.
If Seth goes PS5, he can get a Sony headset cheaper than cheap.
Yes, Sony but it's not. It is a better quality VR headset, but it's limited.
It's not worth buying a PS5 just for that.
But it's also limited to what you can do with it. It's basically like locked to only PlayStation things.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Sony's facing anti-competitive, so they may unlock it. It may be unlocked.
They may unlock it, but until they do, I know the first VR headset, I can jailbreak that one to where it's unlocked. I can't do it to the new one yet. It's too new.
I think it's hardware.
They're written for it.
Yeah, I think it's hardware. I think it's like the Nintendo one. I think they put the the code to decode everything was in the chip, not software, loaded software.
The funny thing is I did jailbreak my Oculus to where I can play PlayStation games on it.
Yeah, but that's only because you could change.
And I don't own a PlayStation.
Yeah, that's because the PlayStation code can be loaded into your Oculus because it's software encoded for the
Well, see, that's the problem, though. You have to have a PlayStation 5 to play a PlayStation headset.
Precedent has now been set in a copyright case that encryption keys are not intellectual property because they're not code. The company doesn't own encryption. It doesn't own the encryption technology. So the keys they use are not protected.
All I'm hearing is it seems like I'm the only one who can use this because I got PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. I need to upgrade, but I haven't.
I'm Xbox.
Yeah.
See, I upgraded with my dad's money. So thanks, Pops.
Tommy talks about Xbox, and it's like
that means you're gay.
No.
Well,
Xbox
got beaten by Nintendo. You got beaten by a 2D Switch. You got beaten by a micro.
I think everybody got beat by the Switch, though.
Did it? Because I don't. Man, I hate the Switch was the biggest waste of money I ever did.
Really?
No.
Yeah, dude, I'd never play it.
I think it's the youth that likes it. Like in your 20s and younger.
Yeah.
My kids love it.
Yeah. Switch only became number one because of Zelda. It's fallen.
I don't like the button placements, and like the bottom button for any controller was always select. Yeah. And now it's the side button that's select. So I keep going back and forth trying to mess with it.
See, let's be real. Let's be real. Xbox is on the bottom of the list. Barely anyone talks about it or plays on it. The PlayStation, I feel like, is a fair middle ground. The Switch is the current hot thing that even this turtle boy plays on.
Switch went like this because of Zelda, but currently PlayStation's the number one gaming rig right now, followed by PC, followed by Switch, then Xbox.
I will give PlayStation this. Their console is beautiful. Like, the design is absolutely amazing. And Xbox came out with a block.
Yeah.
But I am so used to the controller. I'm so used to the games I like. I love Halo. I can't get rid of Halo.
But truth be told, like the controllers are so similar now that the controller argument really is
Well,
not.
the joysticks. See, the joysticks are diagonal for an Xbox, and they're at the bottom for a PlayStation. They're
What do you
both...
mean diagonal?
Look up an Xbox. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, you got one at the bottom and one at the top for joysticks. They're offset. And for a PlayStation, they're both side by side.
My browser's falling asleep again.
The thickness of the controller is another thing.
I've never noticed a Xbox controller being crooked.
It's not crooked. It's better for your hands. Like,
well, I feel like
they.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. The D-pad. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
D-pad.
That wouldn't be terrible.
Like, I enjoy that. Like, I've tried. You can actually buy a PlayStation controller that's set up like a PlayStation controller for an Xbox and vice versa. I've tried it. I can't. I would have to get an Xbox controller to play a PlayStation now.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that because there is some times when I think playing Watch Dogs, you got to use the D-pad to select your weaponry and whatnot. And I think it would be easier to drop your thumb down than it would be to reach your thumb up.
Yeah.
But see, Xbox controllers weren't always like that.
No.
See, that's why I was thinking, because like I don't remember the last Xbox I played, the thumbsticks were at the bottom.
But if you look at Xbox controllers in the past, they were thick.
Yeah.
Thicker than a Snicker. Heavy like a Chevy.
It can't be any thicker than any of my exes.
Damn.
Emotional damage.
That was
king of the internet.
Wow.
That was a good one.
Oh, thank you.
Caught me off guard on that one. That was great.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was good. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd like to play with one just to see what it would be like because I haven't played a new Xbox.
One of Phil's
yet.
exes? Sorry, dude. I just realized you were drinking. The old man woke up and he was funny. All right. I'll see y'all. Awesome. I'll see y'all sometime in August when I'm funny again.
Speaking of that, we need to get together late. You need to come up again. We need to get a time that we can get you up here.
All right.
I think it'd be fun.
All right. Yeah, send me an email sometime. I know my wife's going to be out of town. Sometime it's in August, and then my brother might visit in September. So,
how about this? What about October?
What about October?
I'd be down.
My kids don't go trick or treating anymore. You think
they're only 9 years old?
Anything?
That they don't really care for.
Hey, look, I know what hillbillies do around Halloween. Now I'm not well.
But our kids are actually tall too. They don't.
Well, where I am, there aren't enough of them, so they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, try and go on Halloween to meet him so he can cosplay as one of my exes. That would be very scary.
Well, what I was saying is we can get rent a projector, project a scary movie on Seth's building.
But I don't like scary movies.
Well, we'll be there to protect you.
All right, I got guns. It's okay.
But it would be like a holiday show. Like we'll have the cameras pointing at us, not the show, not the video, and we'll just go through maybe a classic horror. That's not too bad. Kind of like when
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
I was thinking along the lines of like like near Labor Day, beginning of September,
Mm,
because it's going to be a long weekend.
that's true. Do we need to wear white?
No, whatever.
You get it? Don't wear white after Labor Day?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's
that's not a
always
rule
after
anymore.
Labor Day.
What was that for? I have no idea.
I don't know.
It's a Sharon Stone movie where she's the mother who kills people for breaking social rules, and she goes on trial for murder, and she gets off.
I
And
don't
then
know.
she kills the jury member who was wearing white after Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
And the foreman who thought she was not guilty and got her off, but she was wearing white shoes or something. Yeah, it was a Sharon Stone movie. It made a lot of controversy at the time.
Yeah, but I remember that before Sharon Stone was even an actress. I remember that back in the 70s.
No, I know it's been around for a while, but it really went away in the 80s, and then in the 90s it came back because of that movie. People said, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
I wonder if it has something to do with work, because
no,
our
it
work,
was
maybe.
It was rooted in Victorian fashion, I think.
Oh.
Where they had where clothes, 6 weeks fashion seasons. That's where 6 weeks fashion seasons come from.
All right, now
wearing white per day, socials.
Well, apparently, wearing white after Labor Day meant you were someone who had means to have end of summer vacations. Wearing your whites beyond Labor Day was just showing off in the early 1900s.
If that's the case, then those kids that they had must have been brats.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find what movie you're talking about, David.
Are they still doing the protests for the writers and the actors?
Oh yeah, they're still doing it. Yeah.
Now, is that just for movies or games too?
Well, from my understanding,
voice actors,
movies,
voice actors, and writers. Any SAG member is out.
So I wonder if we're going to have a drought on game releases.
No, because they're scabbing over in Europe right now.
Yeah, I think the whole gaming section and the movie/TV industry are like two separate entities.
Now, how do y'all feel about God of War being owned by Xbox?
Never played it.
You did want it, but it's PlayStation 5, isn't it?
No, I got it when I had the subscription to PlayStation, that service where you can use their
PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, PlayStation Plus. I couldn't think of the name. Whoever came up with the name of the men's room for the channel, it's awesome. Thank you. that was me. But I had the subscription service, PlayStation Plus. You could play games down over there and chat and stuff. And I played it for a little while, and I just couldn't. I couldn't get into it.
And then they took down Red Dead Redemption.
That pissed me off. Because we finished Red Dead Redemption 2 on Coffee and Gaming, and I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna play Red Dead Redemption 1, and then I had it loaded and everything, started it, played it, whatever, and then all of a sudden, we went to play it, and it was like, nope, no, thank you. I was like, oh great, cool.
No, yeah, right now the only way he can play it is if he gets a PC and downloads the Red Dead Redemption mod, which is like they use Red Dead Redemption 2 assets to recreate Red Dead Redemption in a mod.
Which ain't too hard. They do that with Halo a lot.
Actually, Fortnite just came out with a new modding system where you can actually make your own mini games using their assets.
There's one called Contractor. It's a VR game.
Yeah.
But there's the modding community just latched onto it, and you can play any game on that. You can play Halo, you can play Call of Duty, any Call of Duty. You can play Minecraft on it.
Well, see, anything made with the Unreal Engine or any of its derivatives, you can use modding. You don't need to know how to code because it's the modding community. There are modding tools now. You know, you don't have to know how to code and intercept and do traps. You can just load up a modding tool. It's all programmed there. It's all laid out, and you can program it just like Unreal. Just load your graphics and click all the interactions.
The new Unreal Engine, have y'all seen how strong it can be?
No.
Yeah, I have.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
But the thing about Unreal Engine people don't understand is if you're going to use particle effects, it'll reduce the number of assets. If you use a lot of assets, it reduces the size of your map. You really got to understand how memory works. You know, if you preload too much stuff, you reduce this. You increase the load time. If you don't load enough, you have stutters throughout the game. You know, that's what optimization does. You got to rearrange everything from start to finish. You know, so the final game isn't the one you planned.
Yeah, the video I was watching, like I know in videos they'll show you like when you're playing the game and it switched to a video, the graphics get better.
Yeah,
but this one, the guy was showing, he made the map and everything, like he was using the Unreal Engine, but he took a gun with a sniper on it and zoomed into a blade of grass, and you saw water droplets on the blades of grass, like morning dew on the grass.
Yeah,
that much detail was amazing.
Yeah, but to get maps like that, you only have that square of 4K. Like you see with Red Dead Redemption, as you cross the map, every section is loaded. You know, you have to create. They're all blocks. You have to. When you're using Unreal, you can do a lot of stuff, but you can't do everything in one block.
I just thought that was absolutely amazing.
Oh, there are some amazing things, but that code will only work in that one block.
They're limited to the computer capacity.
Yes, but I'm saying that code only works in that block. If you're using different assets, it won't work for those assets. It only works for those 4K assets and that 4K memory block. That if you're using older assets that have a 1 meg limit, that's too big. It won't load. You'll get an out of memory error.
Yeah,
that's why they had so much trouble with Vice City. It has been leaked that they've had to recode Vice City because and they're doing a Vice City re-release for GTA 6. It's like a add-on, but they're also saying they're using Red Dead Redemption 2 because they want to use the same engine, right? So they're recoding everything to the new engine. So you're going to have no go-backs. Like, you're not going to see Red Dead Redemption 1, the original, again. You're going to see... and it's not going to be in Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, so you probably won't get a anniversary edition of Red Dead Redemption. You'll get a re-release under the new engine probably sometime in 5 years' time. It's just because the old code was originally made for an Xbox, right, and ported to the PC.
Yeah. So
But
here's the person that made that video. They had another video come on, and I thought it'd be cool to share it with y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all have all seen Toy Story. Did you know that movie almost didn't get made?
No.
Do you know why?
Oh yeah, because like somebody was dumb enough to like delete it, right?
Yeah, they deleted it from every computer in the building.
Wasn't that Toy Story 2?
It may have been Toy Story. It was 1 or 2.
Might have been
But
2.
It was someone staying at home that their laptop wasn't connected to the network.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember
they
that.
saved it all on the laptop.
Wow.
And they had to transfer it before she was able to bring the laptop back to the work.
Huh.
I thought that was wild though. Like that person should have got like a huge raise for being sick.
Yeah.
It was just
You
a
know,
coincidence, though, because the first
I
I thought it was.
wish that will happen to Toy Story 5.
I
really wish that would happen.
I wish
to Toy
it
Story
would have happened to Toy Story 4 because that movie sucked.
Thank you. Thank you. Somebody gets me.
That seems like a movie that would write
Get ready
itself.
for another.
It's easy to make a movie about Toy Story. How did they mess it up so bad?
See,
well,
I like the first one came out a year before I was born. The second one came out when I was 3. So my mom wanted to see it too, and I wanted to see the third one. So when the third one came out in theaters, I watched it. And I told when I heard they were making a fourth one, I said, "Oh, hell no!" Like,
okay, the 3 major problems why movies suck. 1, nepotism. Most Hollywood screenwriters, most Hollywood actors, most Hollywood producers, and most Hollywood directors, they rehire and only hire people who went to the same schools as them. So you got nepotism. Then you've got deconstructionism. Throughout Hollywood, they deconstruct everything to the lowest common denominator, believe that those are the only elements that matter, and then they add modernism. That is Berkeley, that is Juilliard, that is all of them now. They all have the same pre-step to rewriting a movie, right? And 3, the first thing they do is, I've got to make it my own, otherwise I don't get a piece of the pie. If they cannot come up with their own material, they cannot get any residuals, any copyrights, any toys, or anything like that. That's why Star Trek has new costumes every time, new ship designs every time. The same with Star Wars, the same with any IP. Lord of the Rings, we had to change it by 35%, and we can keep all the toy money. It's ridiculous, but that is why they do it.
I even said on my channel too, because when I remember hearing about Toy Story 5, I was saying like Toy Story 3 should have been the end in terms of movies. Toy Story 4 and 5 plots, I would have been okay with the Disney Plus shows, but in terms of movies, it should have never existed past number 3. Never.
It's like the Return of Jafar. You see it. If you see that and then you go, wow, if you had seen it and not seen Aladdin, you'd say, what is this shit? And then you see Aladdin, you go, wow, how could you go from this to this?
Toy Story 4, they turned Buzz Lightyear into a moron who is totally useless.
Because they wanted to humiliate Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Well, some may say that they made him more of a moron in that Lightyear movie.
I didn't even see that. Couldn't.
Oh, I've seen it because I was bored out of my mind. I said, okay, I can see why people dislike this movie.
You mean Lightyear?
In Lightyear. About 5 minutes in or 10 minutes in. I said, okay, I can see why. I can already see why.
The thing about Lightyear, and I had to see that movie because it was my daughter got invited to a birthday party, and that's what they watched. It was at the theater, and if it wasn't Buzz Lightyear, it might be an okay movie. But I mean, without all the woke crap. But I mean, it's just an okay movie. But why make it? They didn't even have to make it about Buzz Lightyear if it's anyone else.
Because they're lazy. That's why. That's
and if they
also the reason why Hollywood decided to make a sequel trilogy. Their own, because they're too lazy to make it, and they
could have named him Zip Laserhead or something, and then But if you're gonna call it Buzz Lightyear, it should have been better. It should have been a different movie, and it should have had Tim Allen as the voice.
even my sister, who's like more into that SAW shit, she even said that they should have casted Tim Allen, and because of that,
Right.
I'm not saying it. I'm saying, for once, you're my sister, yay!
And then their explanation for why they didn't get Tim Allen to do the voice was lame.
Yeah,
it was. They obviously weren't giving it to him because they were mad at him because his political views.
He wouldn't play ball.
Yeah.
Or he wouldn't play with balls. Either one.
See, thankfully, we always will have a true Toy Story spin-off with Buzz Lightyear in that Disney Channel show. Yes. Anyone seen the Buzz Lightyear show that came out in early 2000s?
No, I didn't. I never saw that.
Oh, that show was great. It was 2D. Tim Allen didn't come back, but it was a really good show. There was Buzz in space, and I felt like that was more in line with the Buzz Lightyear that we got from the movies than the Tim Allen version.
Right.
Yeah.
But the
I remember seeing something. They did the test screening for the Buzz Lightyear movie, and it was really great. It got up to 98%. When Buzz does his final trip, it just falls off. Kids were crying, people were walking out. Too dark. It was. They didn't have to do that.
Right. And making, spoiler alert, if you're planning on watching this, plug your ears, but making Zorn actually a future version of Buzz was incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I saw that.
And it goes against the lore. He's supposed to be his father. I thought, they're going to have him, reveal that he's his father, because that's
he was. They did that. They did have that reveal, so they undermined it.
I know.
They undermined it.
And I thought that though,
killing the character, but killing the girl or turned kids off that movie. That's why it bombed. Kids were walking out. They didn't even get to the Buzz Lightyear reveal.
Right.
Well, I thought the whole I'm your father scene in the Toy Story 2 was supposed to be this stupid parody that meant nothing. That was supposed to be a punch to Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was one of those things that we weren't supposed to take seriously.
Right, it was, but I mean,
they got
still
time dilation wrong. They made it inconsistent. It's time dilation is you experience at 1 gravity. Right. You experience 1 second at 1 second long, right?
Mm-hmm.
At higher and faster altitudes and higher gravity, 1 second is slower, 1.01. Time gets longer. You don't take off and come back 30 years later.
Right.
You've experienced 30 years. I haven't. Time is consistent for the people you leave behind.
Right.
Why did they change? So if you consistently leave every 30 years, every time you come back, exactly 30 years has transpired for the people you left behind.
Well, technically not. If they've actually proven in science, if you go fast enough with a ship, you can actually change. If two twins, one in the ship,
dilating time. You're experiencing less, and your seconds are longer and longer and longer. So that when you return, you're not out of. When you return, if you don't go you don't go on a trip and it's 5 years, then 10 years, then 15 years, and 30 years. Dilation stays consistent.
This is my problem. He's going close to the speed of light. That's what causes time dilation. If you're traveling close to the speed of light,
not going faster.
But he's not going. No, he's not going 30. He's not doing a 30 light year round trip though. He was just going to the sun and back. So I mean that doesn't even make any sense.
That's what I'm saying. But also the consistent time. It was getting longer and longer each time he left, yet he was only going the same distance at the same speed.
Right. I mean, none of it made any sense.
Well, I got a theory. The reason why that happened, the whole time thing happened, is because the person who made this was drunk, saw the CW class, said, "Hey, let's do this. Yeah, I like that."
I think you've
Because
hit on
they
the
wanted-
actual explanation, Phil.
You heard of Chris Gore? You know, the movie critic. Was a producer, does all the movie critics now.
Yeah, I know Chris Gore. He's on Midnight's Edge a lot.
Yes, but he started as his own, right? After he left the
Right.
producing, he made his own channel. And he was saying the biggest problem with Hollywood is they want everything to be emotional. Everything has to have an emotional whammy. Everything has to have an emotional twist, and everything has to have a sad ending. That's their problem.
Right.
See, in some cases that will work. Like, for example, Empire Strikes Back, for example. That ending worked. But then there are, like, other cases like taking, like, Return of the Jedi, since I'm on the Star Wars side for some reason, where it ended on, like, a high positive note. That movie wouldn't be as, like, I think, as well received as it is today, if it still hit the similar note as Empire did. So, like, not every movie needs to have, like, this, oh, you gotta tug on my heartstrings, have a emotional ending. Good.
That's why we have all these things with feelings in hallways. It's like they don't have to move the plot forward. They just have somebody explain something.
If I wanted to
That's right.
Wait, what? You go.
That's right. They highlight the emotional, and they do the narration for the to replace the action. That is the studios mandating less action because action costs money. So they want to do less action, more emotion, because they believe that the market will always stay 80% dominated by women. You look at the market right now, 80% of books are bought by women. 80% of movies are seen by women. 80% of fashion is bought by women. 80% of toys are bought by men. But they don't have to sell you the movie to sell you the toys, right? They'll sell you the comic book, they'll sell you the toys, but they'll screw you on the movie.
See, if I really want to get screwed over, I would try to ask one of my exes out with him.
Yeah, she'll roll you up. She'll roll you up wet, right? And put your hang you out to dry.
Right.
And you wake up in the morning and go, "Where's my wallet?"
Right.
What do you mean 3,500 at Nord's?
Well, I can ask, what's your guys' like favorite movie of all time? If you have one.
What was the question again?
Favorite movie.
Your favorite movie.
Favorite movie.
That's a good one.
Favorite movie.
We had a list of these for one of our first episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could. Go ahead.
One of my favorite movies, something if it's on, I stop, is the 1996 Independence Day.
I like that, and Apollo 13. I think that was peak Ron Howard. After that, as you know, he did a series of bombs, but you know, those were mostly studio mandated movies. He made a lot of promises and he took a lot of money to get that made. And the thing is, that movie has emotion and virtually no action. That's how you do it, though. You actually go through the motions, not just whammy, 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 you know? I'm trying to think of an example of other movies that show emotion well. But Apollo 13, yes.
Mine's The Evil Dead. Like
another good movie, Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket, Natural Born Killers. Pulp Fiction. Although I don't like most of Tarantino's movies, I think. Although, there's just something pretentious about the guy. His movies seem, always out of place, off key.
I agree with that. I think Tarantino's overrated, but I don't know if I could list my favorite film. I can list 4 of my favorites. Planet of the Apes, 1968. Star Wars, A New Hope, whatever you want to call it, 1977. Jaws, 1975. Probably in my opinion, a perfect movie. And probably Excalibur I like a lot too. 1981.
Okay. I gotta watch Excalibur. I've heard a lot of people been like recommending me Excalibur. Not telling me what the description is all about, just telling me you gotta watch it.
It's basically King Arthur, but it's like it's like a really metal version of King Arthur. There's so many good scenes in it.
Okay.
It's like there's a lot of really good scenes. There's a scene where he's taken the sword from the stone, and it's created a big to do because they don't want to accept a 15-year-old boy as king. And there's a big, he basically gets the better of a knight, and he's asking him to surrender. And he's like, "You can't, me surrender to a squire." And he goes, "You're right. You can't. I can't." So he hands him Excalibur, and he goes, "You shall knight me, and then I can offer you mercy." And then he's got you wonder if he's going to kill him or not. Of course, he doesn't. It's a great scene. I'm not ruining the movie by describing that scene for you. It's really good.
But
okay,
Arthur's biggest mistake was 1, mercy to Lancelot. 2,
right,
not killing his cheating wife, and 3, not killing his evil sister. Right. He made a lot of mistakes.
Played by the very lovely Helen Mirren, and you see pretty much all of her boobs in that movie. So there you go.
Well, if you want to see her and Mirren naked, she actually did.
Well, yeah, she's naked in a lot of stuff. Yeah. She's very naked in that.
In the 60s, how many movies did she do? Like where she's naked, like a dozen or so?
A lot.
Like a dozen movies with her full frontal.
And the guy who plays Merlin, I can't remember the actor's name, and her and Helen Mirren had a relationship before that, made that movie, and the director knew that and got him to be in the movie anyway, even though they really hated each other, and it just makes the movie better because you can tell there's that underlying relationship.
Are y'all talking about the old chick Helen Mirren?
Well, yes. She was younger in this. This was from 1981. She was a lot younger in this.
Yes,
and if y'all talking about the old chick being naked, I'm gonna be like,
yeah. And she was all. Guess who was all?
We're talking about when she was hot. And,
okay. I thought you were talking about old chick. I was like,
guess who's also in that? Liam Neeson playing and instead of a Jedi Knight, he's just a knight, Sir Gawain, a very young Liam Neeson. And he actually, in the movie, he has a relationship with Helen Mirren, who plays I can't remember her name, Morgana Le Fay. And in real life, they apparently the ladies like Liam Neeson, but she was a few years older than him, but they had a relationship for quite a few years after that. So
the Fae, the Fae is actually French for the elf.
Right, because she's supposed to be half. She's only half human, supposedly. Yeah.
Yes, she's half elf. Yes. She
Hi,
was
Troy.
The actual historical figure. The actual historical figure of which Morgana was based on was actually the daughter of the Norman king, and she was a bit of a right tart.
And in actual Arthurian canon, if you want to call it that,
Yes.
Actually, her sister was the mother of Mordred. But they combine a lot of characters. It's like it would have been a 12-hour movie if they wouldn't have done that. So it's a really good movie.
And but in the end, it was Gwen and the two survivors of the whole thing. I think was Gwen and the other one, the other night. The least likely, all the heroes, all the villains, they all die, leaving Gwen and the Squire.
In the movie, it's supposed to be better.
No, I mean real life.
Percival.
In real,
it's Percival in the movie.
Yeah, Percival. That's it. Yes.
Yeah,
those
and
two
he's
survived.
really good. Yeah.
Those two survived Camelot. Now, Camelot is actually the seat of Cornwall.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on the rise and fall of the seat of Cornwall, in which a young king came to power from but he was descendant of an older family who had once ruled in the north, and they made alliances with the Northmen to try and come back to power, but
right.
Arthur kept making mistakes. He let the wrong people live. He made enemies of the wrong people, and eventually everybody invaded Cornwall and tore the new kingdom apart.
Well, kind of like in the movie. I mean, it's a tragedy because he's like Merlin tries to warn him. A beloved friend will betray you, and he's not paying any attention. He's like,
No. Everybody actually at one point they straight up said to him, your wife's a slut. No, she's not. She's pure as driven snow.
They never listen.
No.
Until it's too late.
He was the first simp.
Yeah, he really was. He was a simp for Guinevere.
And she was, and in reality, it was her and her sister. Morgan Le Fay was her sister in real life, wasn't it?
No, Troy, I'm not thinking of Ted Knight. He was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. I know who that is.
Ted Knight, yeah. Oh, wasn't he a funny guy? He made that show. You look at Mary Tyler Moore after that; nobody cared after that.
Yeah, he doesn't really get a lot of appreciation for Caddyshack either, and he really kind of helps that movie a lot too. My favorite scene in the movie is where he's in the scene with the office, and
he's the most memed guy out of Caddyshack.
Yeah,
you don't say. That's the most quoted line out of the movie. And he helped write that and never got credit.
Right.
Hey, Phil, did you ever say what movie you liked the most?
Oh, yeah, we never got around to everybody.
Sorry, man.
We
got dragged off.
What was your favorite movie of all time?
Dude, I like wearing it.
Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Which one? Please don't say the newer one.
Oh, you know which one he's talking about. Come on.
He's talking about the animated. He's talking about the animated one, right?
Okay, so technically the 2007 one is my first movie in theaters, so I have sentimental value for that. But the 1990 one, actually, no, I take it back. I confused it with the Secret of the Ooze, just because of the turtles dancing.
Okay,
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that answer. I think the first one is the first live action is the best one in my opinion.
The first one live action is the best. Second one's my favorite though.
Okay, that's fair.
Mm.
I have a lot of things like that where they're my favorite, even though I know they're not the best.
So I was into WCW wrestling a lot back in the day, and when I found out Kevin Nash was in one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies,
oh yeah, Secret of the Ooze,
I was so hyped about it.
Yeah, he plays Super Shredder.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, what'd you think about Ready to Rumble movie?
Wait, what?
You was talking about the wrestling and stuff.
Oh, the wrestling movie. Yeah, Ready to Rumble. The wrestling movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's got all the good wrestlers in it.
How old is it?
It's old. It's
I've
got
never seen it.
Goldberg and Diamond Dallas and all of them.
Dude, I met Diamond Dallas Page. It was awesome.
You look up the preview for that after this. You got to see the preview for Ready to Rumble.
All right.
Has anyone else read Camelot 3000? Does anyone remember that book? Troy just mentioned it in the chat. Brian Bolin was the artist. I can't remember who the writer was. It was a 12-issue series. It came out in the 80s. I don't know if it's been collected or not in a trade paperback, but yeah, it was pretty good. It has Arthur coming back. It's in the It's like in the future though. He finally wakes up and he has to get the knights back together, and they're all reincarnated. And then they're fighting aliens. He's using Excalibur to basically fight aliens. It's pretty cool. The art was really good. I remember that. I have him in a box somewhere.
Nice. I'm looking up fishing gear. I'm trying to find me. I need a rod or a crank for my rod.
You didn't like fishing.
Yeah, well, I got my license the other day, and now I'm fishing. I'm gonna get my money's worth.
Watch out, he might be the next Mr. Miyagi over there.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Okay, I watched the Karate Kid movies, but I didn't watch the Netflix series. Is it worth it?
Oh, you serious? You haven't watched Cobra Kai?
Okay, no. Cobra Kai. If you like the Karate Kid films, especially the first three, it's pretty much a love letter to the Karate Kid films.
In my opinion, Cobra Kai is better than the movies.
Really?
Yeah. I think it is. I mean, not everyone would agree with me. I was never a giant fan. I only watched the second, third, and fourth movie recently.
One thing I like about the series, the Will Smith movie isn't canon.
Right. Yeah, there's no way that yeah, they basically have said the first four movies are canon, and they haven't brought in what's her face from the fourth one where she's the woman. I can't remember her name.
Oh, Julie Pierce. It's the character's name, but it's
what's the actress's name?
Crap, I know it.
She's fairly famous now, but I'm hoping they bring her in the next season.
Hilary Swank.
Oh,
the karate woman.
Hilary Swank is that girl's name.
Hilary Swank, yeah, Hilary Swank. That's a horrible movie, by the way. The fourth Karate Kid is just like a inferior version of the first one, but the fourth one. But
it's they'll make it. What did you expect?
They'll make it good somehow if they have it in the series. I highly recommend, Tommy, if you haven't watched Cobra Kai, at least watch the first episode. You'll be hooked. I'm serious. Watch this episode.
Yeah.
And you will find yourself watching the next one, and then the next one, and you just don't start at like midnight because you'll be up till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes, easy like to binge watch them.
They're really good. I mean, they turn.
Yeah.
They do a little bit of deconstruction, but in the good way, where they deconstruct and then reconstruct. It's like, was this person really the bad guy? Was it? I mean, they do it in such a way where they flesh them out and make them more three-dimensional than they were in the original movie.
And if you've seen the movies, then you love it when the callbacks, especially like the characters from the movies, something like, oh shit, okay.
Right, and they don't do it in such a way that ruins the original movie. You can still watch the original movie and get the same,
reactions.
Stuff you did out of the original movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't invalidate anything in those movies.
See, Lucasfilm needs to learn a lesson from that.
Well, yeah, it's a perfect example of, Disney. Canon. This is what you don't do. The Return of the Jedi. This is what you don't do. Cobra Kai,
Yeah.
this is what you do. It's
Rule
black
one,
and white.
Rule one, don't break canon. Rule two,
Right.
don't change characters. Rule three, new characters do not exceed the old characters when they are first introduced. They have to undergo the journey, like Luke.
And they introduce a lot of new characters in Cobra Kai, but most of them I like. It's like there's a few duds in there, but yeah.
They progress. They come up and down, but they don't go. Their trajectory isn't vertical.
Right.
They introduce a new, honor the old, and like blend the two together. Beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
And they do it in such a way where
I know people complain about the cast size. I don't mind casts. I don't like these people who complain about cast size or CGI or anything like that. You know, the fundamental of a story is not defined by how many characters you have or don't have, or how long a character stays for. You know, you can have a great memorable character who's one episode. You can have like Cobra Kai, where you have lots of people, and there might be a season between seeing somebody.
Right.
Yet they're all done well because nobody has a vertical trajectory.
Right.
Oh no, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that for sure.
They make you love Johnny Lawrence, one of the greatest movie villains of all time. And by the end of the first season, he's my favorite character on that show.
Yeah, you were like,
he grew.
Yeah,
he grew. He still did. He grew.
He looked himself in the mirror and says, "How did I become the bad guy? And how do I become?" And he said, "Well, if I just stop doing what I do, I'll become the good guy." So he did.
I don't want to say anything more that's going to spoil it for Tommy, but there's a scene where he's talking to the kid who's kind of like the new version of Ralph Macchio, who's played, by the way, by the same guy who's going to play the new Blue Beetle. His name's Miguel. He's an awesome character too, and a good actor. But he's like telling him the events from the first movie, only in such a way where it makes him look like the good guy, and you can tell that he actually believes it. He actually remembers it that way. It's heartbreaking and hilarious at the same time. It's very, very funny,
but it's very human
and human and heartbreaking all at the same time. It's really good.
But in a way, villains do look back on their childhood and they think, well, I was just standing up to him. You know, he's the new kid who busted in and, you know, he was throwing his weight around. He was hitting on my girl. You can sort of understand that.
Right.
You know, he was the champion. He was, you know, the center of attention. And Ralph did burst in and then disrespect him.
And he wasn't perfect. I mean, he did a lot of crappy things. He did some crappy things in that movie too. I mean, he wasn't totally innocent.
But he was a dick.
Yeah, he was a dick sometimes.
And he did think, yeah, it was pretty thick, you know. He thought he could squeeze between two people and just have no reaction, you know.
Yeah, no villain thinks of themselves as a villain. I mean, yeah.
No. And if you go back and look at it and you, in context of the Cobra Kai, and you look at the first movie in context, it actually adds a lot to the movie. That's something rare these days. It's rare that a new story adds to the old and puts it in a new light. And you go, wow, Ralph was a dick.
Man, I've been muted this whole time, dude. Holy crap.
Oh.
I've been muted this whole time.
Uh-oh, were you saying anything important?
I don't remember. We do got 9 people watching over on Rumble.
Yeah, we got
so hit that follow button. Hit that follow button.
People on YouTube from Rumble. You guys need a handsome white guy to follow. And yes, I said it for the SJWs. You're welcome. See this guy on top of me? He's not full. He's not a snack. He's a full course meal. Follow us.
Thank you. But yes, hit that follow button, subscribe, whatever on Rumble. We're live on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. Right, meow. And then on David's stuff, I think David's got Twitch and Facebook going for his group.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're over there. Anybody else got anything to say? I'm kind of ready to hit the hay. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I thought I was unmuted a minute ago and it was like talking about something, but
I'm getting a little bit tired myself, but I got.
Plus, we're gonna be up tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Oh no!
We're gonna be playing some coffee and gaming live right here.
Ooh.
Yeah, be a good time. We're playing Watch Dogs 1, the first Watch Dogs. So we'll be over.
Apparently,
we'll be here.
Camelot 3000 has been collected, according to Troy, and Mike W. Barr was the writer. If that means anything to anybody.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. Everybody out there in the chat, appreciate y'all dropping in. Big shout out to Phil TMNT for dropping by and hanging out with us tonight.
Always a pleasure.
Everybody, do you guys have anything y'all want to push, promote for your channels? Got any upcoming videos or anything?
No.
Just more Niche Turtle videos in the future for you guys who've been complaining about me not posting the most Niche Turtle stuff.
See The Sound of Freedom if you haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
That's a good one.
It's almost the end of the month, which means in about 10 days I'll have new content on my Patreon.
There you go.
Links are in the description below. New chapter.
Watch Cobra Kai. Watch Excalibur.
The boys are coming up soon. If you want a good deconstruction of superheroes and what humans.
Hey, I'm finally caught up. I'm finally caught up with the boys. By the way,
nice.
Did you like what happened to A-Trade? His comeuppance.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
it was
very
good.
good.
It was very satisfying.
Yeah, that was a good one. But all right, guys, you guys.
I didn't like what they did to Soldier Boy, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm just taking it out.
And if you guys like guys who can rock the Facebook bear better than Ian McGregor as Obi-Wan, subscribe to this awesome guy above me.
Appreciate it. All right, guys, y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all later. You guys we're gonna send it out on the video. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Good day, sir.
Later, dudes.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Hell, I got to go.
Peace out.
Burn in hell, New World Order. Fuck you. Fuck you, New World Order. Fuck you, Bill Gates.
I love you. You gotta do better than that. I love you.